This is Sarah Elizabeth and Denise Davis Gaines with Yoga for Menstruation. Sarah is seated in Sukhasana, easy pose. The spine is tall, the shoulders are relaxed, the hips relax, the knees fall down from the hip joint. The arms and legs get a little heavy, even as we draw up tall and straight through the spine. Let the eyes close softly, and the attention begins to turn inward. As we relax the jaw, let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. A gentle hint of a smile releases the soft palate on the roof of the mouth. As we find ourselves coming into a tall, relaxed, seated posture, begin to become aware of the breath, noticing as the breath short and shallow, deep and full, just observing the natural rhythm of the breath. As you feel the breath start to relax into its natural rhythm, the laya breath, the unrestricted breath, we come now to the complete yoga breath. Inhaling deep into the diaphragm, expanding up to the chest and into the collar, and exhaling collar, chest, abdomen. Inhaling from the bottom up, you can watch Sarah's ribs expand a little and her collar lifts slightly. And exhaling, the collar drops, the chest contracts, the abdomen moves up and in slightly. Inhaling completely and exhaling completely. Watching the breath coming in, watching the breath going out. If the mind is busy and distracted today, observe what's going on in the mind, what pulls us into the past or draws us into the future. And when you feel ready, come back to an awareness of the breath. This is Durga Pranayama, the complete yoga breath. Continuing with 3 or 4 more rounds of complete breaths, in a few moments we'll begin a technique called Viloma 1. This will be 2 variations of Viloma 1 today. Sarah, when you're ready, exhaling completely. And then we're going to inhale for 2 seconds and hold the breath for 2 seconds. Inhale again for 2 seconds and hold the breath in for 2 seconds. If there's room for 1 or 2 more breaths, inhale until you feel you've reached your maximum capacity. When you've held for 2 seconds, it's a long, slow exhalation. At the end of the exhalation, hold the breath out for 3 to 5 seconds. If at any point you feel like you're struggling with the breath or holding too long, again, repeating that process. We inhale for 2, hold the breath for 2, inhale for 2, hold the breath in for 2, and if there's space for another inhalation or 2, and when you're ready to exhale, exhaling long and slow. Continuing this process for 3 to 5 breaths. Continuing with Viloma 1, inhaling for 2 seconds, holding for 2 seconds. When you get to the top of the inhalation, we're going to add a 2-second interval to the exhalation. So you'll exhale for 2, hold the breath out for 2, exhale for 2, and hold the breath out again for 2, until you feel like all the breath is gone, until you feel completely empty. So we continue to make this complete breaths, inhaling for 2, holding for 2, until you've inhaled completely, exhaling for 2, holding the breath out for 2 until you've exhaled completely. Continue for 3 to 5 rounds. When you've completed 3 to 5 rounds, Sarah, would you like to grab a bolster and lie back on your back for a few moments and just relax before we begin our asana practice to relieve pain and heavy flow in menstruation. Becoming aware of the breath once again. Noticing how you're feeling. Notice if there's a heaviness in the pelvis. Imagine taking your breath deep into the lowest part of the belly. And with each exhalation, letting the back relax, the hips, heavy arms, heavy legs, letting go of the weight of the day, paying attention to breath. In a few moments now, we're going to begin to move and warm up the body for a simple asana flow for yoga and menstruation. Sarah Elizabeth and Denise Davis Gaines with yoga and menstruation. Sarah's lying in Shavasana, a great posture to relax and integrate whatever is happening in life. I allow the back of the head to relax and sink down to the ground, shoulders relaxing, palms of the hands fall open to the ceiling as the arms relax by the sides, the hips relax, the feet fall open gently from the hip joint, and the body just surrenders to the ground. Letting go, and just letting the body be breathed for a few moments. As you feel the body start to relax and settle in, and the breath begins to settle into its natural rhythm again, become aware of any sense of heaviness in the pelvis, just noticing if it feels heavy or tight, and imagine taking the breath into those places of tightness, like a laser pointer. Inhale into the spaces of heaviness or tightness, and exhale, imagining release, letting go. Letting the back relax, the hips relax, tailbone even falls down towards the ground. Letting the arms and legs become heavy and relaxed. 2 or 3 more breaths deep into the pelvis, just inviting space with your breath, letting go with the exhalation. And we allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. In a few moments now, we'll begin to move and warm up the body. Remember, there's no hurry. Listen to your body. Go at your own pace. Don't do anything that doesn't feel right in your own body today. We'll begin by wiggling the fingers and the toes, circling the wrists and the ankles. And we'll bend the knees and place the feet on the ground when you're ready. The knees sit together and the feet sit wide so the low back can drop down into the ground. On an exhalation, just let the head fall to the right. When you feel ready to inhale, bring the head back up to center and exhale to the other side. Going side to side, moving with the breath. A simple movement that releases tension in the fascia of the skull and begins to connect breath and movement in the body. Once more to the right and to the left. Remembering at any point during this video, if you'd like to press pause and continue holding a movement or moving in a certain way, you can press pause and play again when you're ready. Sarah, if you'd open your arms up a little bit wider now and walk the feet in together. On the next exhalation, let the knees fall down to the right and the head rolls in the opposite direction. When you feel ready to inhale, bring the head and knees back to center And on the exhalation, falling to the other side. Spinal rotation. And just go side to side 2 or 3 times. Releasing tension through the shoulders, the middle back, the hips. Remember to soften through the groin and really let the bottom leg fall down and let go. Notice if you're holding tension in the jaw. Relax the jaw and let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Soft belly. Once more, to the right and to the left, and coming back to center when you're ready. As we come back to center, let the knees fall open and the soles of the feet come together. If you find that this pulls on the low back, open and close the knees 2 or 3 times until the low back begins to relax. If you find that that's still uncomfortable in your back, you could put a folded blanket underneath your knees. If you feel comfortable here, breathe into any awareness that's coming up for you. Become aware of the pelvis, the belly, the low back, the groin. Observe where the tight places are. See if you can take your breath into those spaces, releasing on the exhalation. 2 more full breaths. And when you feel the next inhalation arising, use the inhalation to bring the knees back together. When you feel ready, Sarah, roll onto the right side and curl up in a fetal position for a few moments. Use your lower hand to support your head. Imagine taking a couple of breaths into your low back and hips. On the inhalation, maybe there's a sense of expanding. On the exhalation, letting the back relax. And when you feel ready, allow the head to stay heavy. And use the arms to slowly come on up to a seated posture. As you come up to seated, we'll come into Baddha Konasana, seated bound angle. The soles of the feet come together. And you wiggle around. If you find that your knees are very, very high, you may want to sit on the edge of a pillow so that your hips can be above the knee joint. Sarah's going to show us now. As she sits a little bit higher, it lets her knees fall down a little more. So we don't close in at the hip joint. Want to sit up tall, allowing for the natural curves in the spine. Shoulders are relaxed, and arms in a comfortable position for a few moments. The chin tucks in just slightly to lengthen the back of the neck, and the crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling as the sit bones drop down towards the ground. Sit tall. Allow the belly to relax even though the spine is tall and straight. Soft belly. Breathing into a soft belly. Imagining that your breath is massaging the abdomen. If there's any sense of pulling in the low back or the abdomen, imagine you could breathe into those spaces, and with each exhalation, letting go of the tension, the tightness, the holding, inviting space. 2 more full breaths here, Sarah. Sitting tall, relaxing the hips. And when you feel ready, We're going to extend the right leg out straight and the left leg, coming into Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged 4 bends we're going to prepare for. If you have tight legs and it's difficult to straighten your legs or take them out wide, feel free to have them a little closer together or sit on the edge of your pillow, or maybe even put a folded towel underneath your knees if you needed to. This is about taking care of you today. When you're ready, inhaling, hands up, and rotate a quarter turn to the right leg. The hands come down as we fold forward from the hip joint, arms lower down to the ground, supporting yourself on the ground. And as you find your maximum extension, gently let the chin fall into the chest, a little bit of weight in the hands to support the back, and breathe. Notice where your tight places are. Imagine taking the breath into those spaces, and each exhalation an invitation to relax and let go. Breathe. When you feel ready to inhale next, begin to walk the hands into the center. Slowly, nice and easy, pausing in the center for a breath, relaxing in a position that's comfortable for you. You may not be as far forward as Sarah. Sarah's very flexible. Remember, this is about you. It's not about anyone else. This is your practice today. Relax and breathe. Sarah, when you feel ready to inhale next, begin to walk over to the left side. No hurry. And gently hold the stretch on the left side for 3 to 5 breaths. When you feel ready to inhale, I'll know you're done when you begin to inhale to come back up and rotate back to center. Remembering with any of these postures you can pause and hold it for longer. Arms come down, sit tall, take a breath to reset, observe how you're feeling. Notice what's going on in the body. Where do you feel warm? Where do you feel cool? What feels stimulated or calm? And Sarah, when you're ready, we'll repeat the same process on the other side. Inhaling, hands up, quarter turn to the left. Hands come down as we fold from the torso. Breathing, supporting the back, and gently let the chin fall into chest. So relax and breathe. When you've taken 2 or 3 breaths, walking it through to the center. Pausing there and breathing. Again, noticing what you're feeling today. Is there anything that I feel ready to let go of? What am I holding? Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Is there anything I could let go of today? When you feel an inhalation arising and you feel ready to move, walking back over to the right side. Pausing and breathing. Noticing if it feels the same or different. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It only matters how you feel. When you feel an inhalation arising, use the inhalation to begin to come up again, coming up, lengthening through the spine, tall body. Reach up, rotating back to center, and exhale, hands back down by the sides. Planting the hands on the floor beside you, sir. When you're ready, bending the knees and walking the legs in together. Oh, give them a little stretch out in front. Maybe massage your legs. And A little tapping to release the tension from holding that posture. Whenever you feel ready, Sarah, now we're going to come back down onto the ground. No hurry. Taking your time. As you come down on the ground, you're going to bring the knees right into the chest. One hand on each knee, and gently rock side to side, releasing the tension in the back. And circle around to the right. And circle around to the left. As we come back into center, let's take the knees to the right, all the way down to the ground. As the knees come to the ground, open the arms up wide into a T position. Shoulders relaxing back and down. Breathing deep and full into the belly. When you've taken 3 to 5 breaths on this side, we'll bring both hands back to the right side. Use the hands to support the knees to come back to center. On an inhalation, pausing in the center for a breath. And on the next exhalation, taking it over to the other side. As the knees come over, opening the arms up as they land on the ground. The feet relax, the inner thighs relax, the jaw relaxes. Nice deep full breaths. See if you can get your breath right down to the bottom of the ribs. And if this feels good, feel free to stay longer. When you're ready, Sarah, we'll bring it back to center again. And place one foot on the ground and then the other foot. And stretch one leg out straight and then the other leg. We let the feet fall open gently from the hip joint and the body surrenders into Shavasana. If you find it difficult or uncomfortable to lie flat on the floor like Sarah is today, feel free to put a pillow under your knees or a folded blanket under your pelvis. Find a way to be completely comfortable so that you can completely relax. Shavasana is all about relaxing, not so much about falling asleep. Mind you, if you need a nap, you should take a nap. A warm blanket might feel good at this point as well. Breathe and relax. Stay here as long as you like, and anytime you feel ready, find your way back to seated. No hurry. Taking your time. You can end your practice by paying attention to your breath, having a nap, chanting Om, whatever inspires you. Thank you.